Well, folks, welcome back to Table Smashers. Once again, I'm here with my main man Todd. Something, as you can see, the light is red. Like I told you guys before, when the light is red, that means one or two things: either we got breaking news or we got some real shit to talk about. And in this case, is both. As most of you guys may know, right now the Buffalo Bills fired head coach Sean McDermott. And there's a lot to talk about. I was expecting to get on here with my brother Todd and talk about the Buffalo Bills loss to the Denver Broncos, in which that was upsetting in itself. Because listen, even if you're a Bronco fan, I don't even care about Bo Nix. You shouldn't feel happy about that game because you knew you was outplayed that whole game. But us Bills fans have a lot to be upset about. We turned over the ball 5 times and we're still in the game. Denver Broncos, yes, you won the game, so hats off to you. Salute on that. But bad news, if a team turns over the ball 5 times and they still in it, your team ain't worth a shit. So I don't want to hear nothing from a Denver Bronco, right? Let's talk about the situation at hand, man, most importantly. And that is, Todd, the Buffalo Bills did in what I think is a crucial mistake at bad timing, and they fired head coach Sean McDermott in something I think that I'll just say this, and I'll let you shoot off the hit, man, and let me know how you feel about it, and I'll chime in. But if they was gonna make a move like this move should have been done maybe next year, maybe something like that. Reason being, I think that Sean McDermott hasn't been given the proper tools in order to build the team. He's been making, like I say all the time, is probably one of the things I'm most known for saying on this podcast and throughout social media is he's been making chicken salad out of chicken shit. He hasn't been given the right tools, and for some reason, he finds a way to get as far as he can. Now, with that being said, he gets us as far as the talent can get us. The man who's been responsible for building this team should be looked at. And the reason I say that if you're gonna make a move like this, it should be made a move later, a year later, is because I think if anything, you fire Brandon Bean this year. How about that? He gets fired. You bring in a new GM, have that new GM accommodate Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills and give us what we need. Number one, a number one receiver. Number two, potentially a great pass rusher. And then if Sean McDermott doesn't get it done with a well-built roster, then at that point, you sit up there and say, Sean McDermott, you know what? Maybe you're the problem. Let's get you out of here. Because as we looking at this game on Saturday, and we looking for, let's just say this, Ty, and I'm sorry I'm being a little long-winded.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna land the plane. We have had more conversations about what the Buffalo Bills lack than we have on Sean McDermott's mistakes. And again, I don't see why the Pagulas will make a decision like this. Brandon Bean has been more of the problem than what Sean McDermott has been. You have not pulled the trigger in situations which you had to. Case in point, like I spoke about before, when we talking about Jalen Waddle, because you didn't want to give up this year's draft picks. Listen, you didn't give this man everything he needed to win. He got you as far as he could have with what he could. And you use him as your floor guy. I think it's bullshit, man. Even for those who want Sean McDermott out of here, you got to be honest. He was not given everything he needs to win. Go ahead, Todd, man. I'm sorry, buddy. I was probably a little long-winded, man. But
No, man, this is your podcast. I'm just along for the ride. The fact that McDermott was fired is just mind blowing to me. This is the guy that built the culture that we've known since Josh Allen was drafted. This is the guy that usually every mid-season, it feels like we're at a crossroads in the middle of the season where we have a record that is not where it should be. There was the one year we were 6-6. There was, 1 year where we may have lost had 3 or 4 losses already when we shouldn't have. And who do you think rallies the troops and gets this team on a run into the playoffs, of which we've made every year except for Josh's first year, second year, first year as a full-time starter. That was a year that they went 6-10 because it was a year where we needed to see how Josh could do. There was a lot of changes going on. This Sean's second year. But besides that, he has he has gotten so much out of a team that honestly, Josh has been doing this for 8 years. There's probably 2 or 3 years where we were lucky we even made the playoffs.
Agree.
And even this year, and you look back at the last 3 years, his first year, the defense was nasty. They were a top five defense. Maybe even the third year when Josh got us to
Yeah.
the playoffs against Houston, we had a really good defense. And a lot of that was from players from the old regime, but it was also McDermott's philosophy. Point being, what he's was able to do with especially the defense without the lack of personnel, what he was able to do to keep us relevant and in the playoffs and winning divisions and getting us to the second round and getting us to a couple AFC championships and keeping us in every single game. The fact that he got fired is such bullshit to me. And what makes me even more mad is, like you had said, and we've talked about, Bean drafting the personnel that McDermott has to kind of collaborate with him on, but ultimately it's Bean's decision and it's the owner's decision because Bean reports to the owner directly when it comes to personnel and says, "Hey, this is the guy we need. We're going to draft this guy. We're going to draft." And Pagula says, "I trust you. Good." Sean may say, "Hey, let's lean more towards this guy," but they collaborate and they draft their guys. Bean's done a horrible job in doing that. He's drafted, obviously, Josh. He drafted Cook and he drafted the O line. So okay, I'm not going to say horrible. The luck that has come out of the drafts that he has been in charge of over the last 4 or 5 years. I'm going to throw a stat at you that I just heard prior to coming on. Since Josh was drafted and since Cook was drafted, 55 players Bean has drafted. You know how many have made the Pro Bowl?
Two.
Two. That's messed up. That means that
Two.
you're A, not good at what you're doing, other than your quarterback, who we thank you for. We thank you so much for this quarterback. I love Cook, but I'm going to be honest. Cook is replaceable. He's a running back. You could replace him tomorrow with probably another really good running back. You can't replace Josh Allen. We know this. Um, so thank you for Josh Allen. But two Pro Bowlers out of 55 drafted players. And you had the balls, Pagula, to promote this guy to president of football operations, which also leads me to think that, and we're out there in the working world, we know how this works. Bean is either a yes man or he's a backstabber. He
A
might be
million
both.
percent.
He might be
Slime
both.
ball bean.
He might be both because when Pagula sits down with the GM, who is the general manager, he hires the coach, he drafts the players, the coach just coaches the players. If McDermott was the GM, that's a different story. Bean's the GM. He's reporting to Pagula. He's probably shitting his pants thinking, I might get fired. And God only knows what came out of his mouth to Pagula over the last, even could be the last month. You know, McDermott might be losing the guys. McDermott and I have been clashing against the drafting Hairston. McDermott and I are clashing against the injuries, of which Mr. Pagula I have no control over. The guy's getting hurt. I drafted these guys. We don't know what they are yet. I'm rambling too, but I'm so pissed off because McDermott did not deserve to get fired. He is not the problem. He's not the problem. Yeah, we haven't gotten over the hump, but like you said, what tools have we had to build the mansion that we wanted to build? We haven't had them. It hasn't worked out. And I'm more frustrated that they elevated him to run the whole thing. It's mind blowing. I'm really frustrated by it. I don't understand it. And if Pagula is going in the direction of how he runs the Sabres, we're in big trouble. We're in
We
a
we
lot of
in,
trouble.
we in a lot of trouble.
So,
We're in a lot of trouble. That's the case.
yeah.
And listen, don't. As far as rambling on, listen. I don't give a damn if you speak for 27 minutes straight. I don't care because again, at the end of the day, we feeling like. Listen, folks. Me and Todd spoke about this before we even got on, and I'll say it again in front of you guys. We are fans first. Understand this. We don't get paid a dime for this. We don't. No one's endorsing us. No one is telling us what to say, what not to say. We
Yeah.
are fans first. We are you. So bear with us as our emotional roller coaster goes up and down. But again, we are you. So we're not here to say all the politically correct shit that most people are going to sit up there and give you.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, respect that. So Todd, bro, you shoot off your hip and you as long as you need, brother. Because again, I'm with you, and I don't understand how Brandon Bean gets to keep his job, and I'm with you 100% on what you say. He's either a kiss ass, yes man, or
Yeah.
he's a backstabber.
Yeah.
We know him as Big Baller Bean.
Yep.
Listen, I think he's more like Slime Ball Bean
It's
because
possible.
I don't see how you fire Sean McDermott, who's the man who is the winningest coach in Buffalo Bills history percentage wise. You get rid of him, and like you said, it's more than just wins and losses. This
Yep.
man has built a culture here. This man, Todd, do you know how difficult it is? And you know what I do for a living, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Do you know how difficult it is to be an alpha man amongst alpha men?
Yeah. It's
And
tough.
cause you got to have a balance.
Yeah.
You got to be strong, and you also got to be. I don't want to say lenient, but you have to be understanding as well.
Yeah.
So Sean McDermott has found a way to to go amongst alpha men and get their attention.
Yeah.
That's not to say you go out here and you get somebody else right now and they're able to do the same thing just because they have a winning fucking record.
Yeah.
That's not how this goes.
No. I don't get this whole thing, man. I'm frustrated. It's the first time I've been frustrated with this franchise uh, since Rex Ryan was coach. To be honest with you, I mean, when they hired McDermott, he was an unknown commodity. We didn't know what he was. We just thought he was maybe just some vanilla, coach. That it all came down to them drafting Josh. And thank you, Bean, for doing that. Thank you. Did you know Josh was going to be this? Bullshit if you say yes, because you didn't know Josh was going to be Josh Allen. Here's my next question. Who the hell's going to coach this team? Like, who's going to do anything different than what? Oh, here's what I'm afraid. Well, okay. Bean's in charge of everything. He gets to hire the next coach. There's a chance he just elevates Brady to become the head coach. There's a chance that could happen. A
And
chance.
that and watch this. And that's not too far fetched. You know why? Because Brady comes across to me as another yes man.
Yep.
So that's not too far fetched.
Yep.
Todd, you're not crazy by thinking that. Because
Yep.
again, Joe Brady to me, another yes man. So guess what? He can control Joe Brady. So
Yep.
listen, why not get him in? Listen, this shit is a complete shit show. Again,
Yep.
this has been an absolute disastrous 48 hours for the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills fan base.
It's been nuts.
There's no way, like you said, who is going to coach this team?
I
Not
mean,
to mention,
I mean, unless Pagula is just going out there saying, Tomlin, I'll give you $20 million a year. But is Tomlin going to do anything different with it's personnel? That's the issue. It's personnel. We had not one sack in that fucking Broncos game. Not one. We didn't even touch Bo Nix. So
yep.
what does that come down to? Personnel. You know what I mean? Defensively, McDermott was a mastermind in what he was able to do with so little and all the injuries. This isn't the first year that he's had to do this. He's been doing this for 4 years straight with
And the
injuries.
fact,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, and the fact that he's taking over defensive play calling, like,
Exactly.
because Bobby Babbage ain't worth a shit. He
Not
ain't.
calling it right. Yeah.
So you're not only have you given him, not only have you failed him in player personnel, but you failed him in coaching personnel. And this man has done his very best with what he's got. And for those of us Bills fans who's upset, understand that you can only take them but so far.
Yeah.
Because you reach a level in which everybody's fucking good. And again, I will say this, and they can bite my head off for this shit if they want, but it's the truth. And again, anyone who's been put in a real situation and got to deal with real life shit and got to be an alpha male amongst alpha males knows that this shit is the truth. Some of his mistakes may come from trying to overcompensate for the lack of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's being put in certain situations where he has to make decisions
Yeah.
that the average that a fucking Belichick didn't have to make.
Yep.
So maybe his mistakes is coming for overcompensation.
Yeah.
How anybody who thinks this is a good idea, listen, I respect your opinion. I'm gonna just leave it at that for a better
I
choice of
mean,
words.
unless we go to the Super Bowl next year, or like the next 2 years, this is just we're both upset. equally. We're both on the same page, you and I. I'm just now. I'm starting to think about being in the working world because this is essentially just the working world, just like you are, and everybody else that has a 9 to 5 that works their butt off, that is a certain part of the hierarchy of the system of wherever you work. I just think I think McDermott spoke up more than maybe Bean wanted him to. And I do think that Bean went to Pagula. This is what I'm thinking and said, hey, listen, this is what's going on. We might have to make a change. And Pagula's like, okay, I trust you. And Pagula could be an idiot too. I don't know. We don't
A
know
million
this.
percent.
Yeah, you know?
Listen, his head, his listen. I think Pagula's head ain't in this shit. To be completely honest with you, I think he trusts whoever the fuck he trusts
Yeah,
in case is Brandon Beam,
yeah,
and I think he just let okay, I trust you. Go ahead and
yeah,
do what you think with it.
which is
But
fine.
but again, Brandon Beam has not given us, with the exception of listen. All right, let's give him some credit for. I'm gonna give him credit for 3. Right, I'm gonna even give him credit for 4.
Mostly the offense.
Right,
Yeah.
but when we talking about elite players, I can only give him credit for 3 and a potential 4 if it wasn't an injury. I'll give him obviously credit for Josh Allen.
Yes.
I give him credit for James Cook.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit for Deion Dawkins.
Sure.
And I'll give him a little, and I'll give him credit for even a Trey White.
You know what though? Was Dion before Bean got there? Dion was on that first playoff team that McDermott took to Jacksonville when we barely made the playoffs. Bean, I don't think was he the GM yet?
I'm not sure. We got to look that up.
Okay, because I
I'm not,
think
but
Dion might have been there with McDermott the first year, but I don't know if Bean was the official GM yet because because I think Bean's first draft might have been Josh's draft. We have to look it up though.
yeah, we got to look it up. But
Yeah,
that makes shit even worse. To
yeah, I
be honest,
know. Yeah,
that makes it even worse.
yeah.
But aside from that, what have you hit on? What have you hit on? You have what you have, and this is another thing a lot of Buffalo Bills fans don't realize. Some of us, right, is that with the injuries that we had, this Buffalo Bills team that was built by Brandon Bean is designed to work together because you
Mm-hmm.
don't have that stud. So therefore, if you got Mac on the left and you got Todd on the right,
Mm-hmm.
Mac is only serviceable and good if that guy Todd on his right is doing his job because
Mm-hmm.
Mac is not capable of doing it on his own.
Yeah.
So now when you have injuries, if Todd gets hurt, you just eliminated Mac and what Mac can do for you.
Yeah.
So Brandon Bean built a team that listen, no one was designed. We needed a game changers. We
We
need
don't have
someone
them.
who can rush the quarterback.
We don't
Listen,
have. We don't have them. We never have had it.
you talk about a sack. How about pressure?
None. It
How
makes me
much?
wonder. It makes me wonder now if McDermott even wanted to re-sign Rousseau and wanted to re-sign some of these guys that they gave extent. I mean, Benford we needed to, and that's fine. Milano, yes. But it makes me wonder, like, if there's players that they re-signed that McDermott was like, maybe we should move on from, and Bean's like, no, we're going to keep this guy. Da, da, da. It's possible that McDermott
It's
was just dealing with whatever Bean was throwing at him and was trying to speak his mind, but it wasn't being heard. And he's the coach that got these guys to play. If you think about the roster and all the injuries that we had, we're lucky we made the playoffs. I mean, really,
absolutely.
we're lucky, man. Whew.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I get it. Some fans are happy that McDermott's out of here, and they like, oh, good job or whatever have you finally. But just like you asked the question maybe about 5, 6, 8 minutes ago, in something you said, who do you bring in? And again, that that
I don't
that
know.
that is the $1 million question because guess what? It's more than just wins and losses, man. It's
Yeah,
more than just wins and losses because you want to
yeah.
talk wins and losses. McDermott got his wins again when you got what you seen was a good coach that once he got to a certain level of the playoffs, his roster was capped out and was maxed out.
Totally, because he's playing against the best teams that are in the league.
Absolutely, he
Yeah.
couldn't do no more with what he
No.
had.
And
And
you can talk about people can talk about 13 seconds. That was a Leslie Frazier defense. He was the play caller. He set up the prevent
that
in that
soft, cushy
situation.
defense.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
That soft, cushy defense.
Yeah.
He
That
was
was his
Leslie
defense. And
Frazier.
he got fired at the end of the year.
Yep.
And McDermott was still a young coach, and he probably said, I'm gonna put my trust in you, Leslie. And okay, if you feel like this is, and then maybe eventually he said, no, I'm doing this shit, just like he did with Babbage this year. That's not Babbage's defense at all.
No.
It's McDermott's.
And here's another thing, right? For the first time in Josh Allen's career, the one good thing we do got going for us, now Josh Allen's gonna have to come across change.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and here's the thing,
Yeah.
Todd,
Yeah.
you Pagulas, y'all better hope y'all hit on this shit.
I
Because
know.
if you miss, you really have fucked up Josh Allen's career.
He may went out.
Absolutely, because now
He may
guess
went
what?
out.
Guess what? First 8 years of his career, didn't win a chip. You
Yep.
take the one face that he knows that he's responsible for, and which I'm gonna tell you something else. It makes me believe, or at least gets me to think, did the Buffalo Bills know that Sean McDermott's job was on the line, and that when they lost on Saturday, because
Probably.
they were a little more emotional than usual.
Yes. And I thought about, go ahead, because I was thinking the same thing. Go
Right.
ahead.
So did they know? Like, holy shit, this is an end to an era.
Maybe.
Like, did they know?
Maybe. I don't know how they would know. It's like I work at a school. If my principal confided in all the teachers that we're going to make a move on an assistant principal, she's not gonna say that to us. You know what I mean? So I don't know who would tell them that, other than maybe they found out that the O-line coach retired because maybe he knew something. So yeah, you know what? You have a point. Word gets around fast. That happens. The rumor mill is undefeated because for the most part those rumors come true, especially in the corporate world. Um, but how did the players know that McDermott wasn't going to make it out of this? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. The only thing I can think of is, you know, maybe a conversation was had with Sean McDermott. Some way, somehow, maybe not we're gonna fire you, but letting them know, listen, we expect a
Yeah,
lot out of you this year. This is a year for you to be able to do what it is that listen. You're
yeah,
on a short leash, so to speak,
yeah.
and we expect XYZ results. And
And
if we don't get XYZ results, it's a conversation that we're gonna have. And
yeah,
maybe I'm not saying that this is what it is, and I'm not saying that, but things like this can happen. And again, maybe Sean McDermott repeated that conversation with someone. I don't know, maybe someone like maybe someone he and
yeah,
I can see Sean McDermott having a very good relationship with someone like Josh Allen.
yeah. Maybe, yeah, yeah, yeah. And honestly, maybe Pagula and McDermott sat down and Pagula said, "Listen, this is where we're at. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to see how we progress in the playoffs, but if things don't work out, I just want you to know we may be making a move." And maybe
Yeah,
McDermott in the speech after the Broncos loss said, "Hey guys, I don't know what's going to happen going down the road." And just by saying that, I'm not sure what's going to happen going. It could have been just like we're throwing things out there, but it's real life shit. These are real people. And so
absolutely.
McDermott may have known after the loss, this is it for me, and may have said that to the players in a way that wasn't like, I'm going to get fired, but hey, I don't know where this takes us, or I don't know where this takes me. And then, yeah, because they were all crying. When do you see NFL players crying like that? So,
Listen,
yeah,
not right, and not only that,
yeah,
but even when have you ever really seen McDermott lose his cool?
true.
And he kind of lost his cool. He was like, "It's for the city of Buffalo," and like he actually spoke up for once.
Yeah,
And rumor is that, well, not rumor because it's actually been confirmed by Buffalo Bills news reporters. He actually even called the newspaper while being on the plane.
he did. Sikorsky, Jay Sikorsky from
Right.
the Buffalo News. I
So
know. He was livid.
when have
And
you?
maybe
When
he
have
knew he
you?
was going to get fired, and he said, I don't give a shit. Now I'm going to let it all out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm gonna tell you something, Bills Mafia. The one thing we don't want McDermott, even though they're gonna need some help, but we don't want McDermott in on the Dolphins, and we definitely do not want him on the fucking Ravens.
the first team I thought of was Miami. but I don't see him as a Miami palm tree guy because he's got to stay out of the sun because he had skin cancer. Seriously,
Yes,
I know
yes,
it's
yes,
not
yes, yes.
funny, but I don't think he
No,
wants to live in Miami. I can
right.
totally see him. That's a great call. I didn't even think of that. He is going to be the Baltimore head coach. Why wouldn't he be?
Listen,
Why
I don't
wouldn't he
see why.
go there?
The only other fit that I would prefer to him, because like I said, I wish this guy nothing but the best.
Me
But the
too.
only other fit I will see for this guy would probably be like a Pittsburgh, and that's only because he's from there.
Oh, that's right. He could be the
That's
next
the
Steelers coach.
right. And even that, that's not a good look for the Buffalo Bills either. Listen, check
No,
this out.
no.
The timing of this couldn't be any worse.
I
Listen,
know.
it ain't necessarily the timing per se, but it's just the fact because usually this is when firings happen, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But it's just a year. Todd, did you know there's 8 coaching vacancies, 7 of them on the AFC?
yeah. He could
Listen,
go to
my
the tight. He could go to the. He could go to a franchise that wants to rebuild culture and just start from the bottom, and that could be the Titans. I could see him in. I could see him in Tennessee. It's the stress level is not going to be as high for him. He's got a quarterback that he can work with. They have a respectable defense. Their defense is not bad in Tennessee. They got players too. They got that D lineman. They got some players over there. He could go there. I could see that for sure. I don't see him in Miami. I don't know about Pittsburgh. I can definitely see him in Baltimore, and that's not
I,
good
is it
because
is it not?
he has what he loves the most about a defensive unit. He has a top level secondary in Baltimore. Top level.
And
Top
and
level. Two safeties and corners. And he could go nuts with that Baltimore secondary. They're
and
awesome.
he could go nuts with Roquan Smith.
Oh yeah, all those guys.
And let's not forget about Klitschko. Remember, he loved him in Carolina, Luke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So listen, that is right up his alley, man.
It is. You're right. It's a great call, man.
And again, at a time like this where now we looking for a head coach, and
And
competition is
yeah,
fierce.
yeah. And who's gonna and then a head coach. This is why I'm wondering if Bean just keeps it copacetic right now and maybe just elevates Babbage and Brady because those are his guys. And that I don't like at all. Okay.
That's
But
a horrible
but
mistake.
it's sometimes it's better the devil you know, and maybe we just stick it out with these guys for a year, or you get a new coach, brand new coach, who's gonna hire in all new coordinators. I don't know if that's a good thing either. I'm not sure. I don't know the answer.
Truth is, I think Sean McDermott's been holding all of it down, man.
I know.
He's
Yeah.
been holding everything down.
Yeah.
Babbage can't hold shit down.
Not yet.
Brady can't hold shit down. Like, listen. So aside from looking for a head coach, right? First and foremost, let's talk about this. First and foremost, we were complaining about our offensive coordinator. Now we actually even thinking about what about if he gets promoted?
Yeah.
We wanted this. Listen, we wanted this guy out 15 hours ago.
Yeah.
Now
Because
we think,
he wasn't creative enough. He
right,
also was stuck with. You could say that he was McDermott like in that he did a lot with a little because we still averaged almost 30 points, but that's because of Josh and Cook. That's why. Those guys, Josh is the reason why we averaged 30 points. He got the ball where he needed to without any talent. McDermott
right.
didn't have a creative. Brady didn't have a creative enough mind for me as a fan. But yeah, they may elevate this guy now.
So watch this. If they elevate him, we doomed. Number
Yep.
one, right?
Yeah, I
Number
think so.
two, if he leaves, we doomed
Yeah.
because now we need a head coach.
Yeah.
Now we need an offensive coordinator,
Yeah.
and we still haven't fixed our defensive coordinator problem because Sean McDermott's been that.
Yeah. And we don't have defensive personnel anywhere. We don't have
Right.
any.
So, yo, did they think this through? Because again, I'm gonna repeat this, right? Because oh man, listen, if he stays, Joe Brady,
Yeah.
we're doomed. Because now he is our head coach. He couldn't run an
Yeah.
offense, yet alone he's gonna run a team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second, if he leaves, we're doomed
Yeah.
because now we need a head coach. Now we need an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And now we need someone who's going to run our defense because our head coach who was running, obviously, our defense in
Was a
Sean
master.
McDermott is now out.
And he was a master at running that defense with really no talent.
Wow.
We really don't have a lot of talent on that defense.
Todd, we don't,
You know, I mean, and if we did, they got hurt. You know what I mean? They were hurt.
Todd, what we have is a lot of, like I mentioned earlier, what we have is a lot of serviceable key
Rotational
pieces.
guys.
That
Yeah.
that that that's all we got, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is all we got. And the Buffalo Bills didn't have a head coaching problem. The Buffalo Bills had a personnel problem.
No personnel problem. Always. Yeah. We know this as fans. If you're smart enough as a fan, and I'm not saying most of the fans aren't, but there are fans that don't pay attention to the personnel. And they're like, oh, why are we not winning the Super Bowl? Well, with a defense like we had, and the way that we played in the last 5 or 6 weeks was so respectable because McDermott made play calls. He took over and he knew how to strategize and create defensive schemes. Joe Brady's been the same all year. We still ran the goddamn bubble screen. The only reason why we were successful is because of Josh and Cook, and we have a good O line. Kincaid, I can't even talk about because he was always hurt. There's another draft pick that, yeah, it's great when he's in there, but he's not dominant. He's
Huh?
tradable and all hands on deck as far as guys. First of all, there's going to be guys that aren't going to be here. We know this. Whether
Mm-hmm.
McDermott stayed or not, there's a long list of guys that are going to be gone because if you do get a new head coach, he's going to want his personnel from maybe his old team, free agents that he's known or worked with before. Just like McDermott and Bean did. They would bring in guys from the Panthers because that's who they knew, you know? So I don't even know who the head coach would be. I don't know if Tomlin wants to come here. I mean, I'd be okay with Tomlin. He's a proven coach, but he hasn't won a fucking playoff game in 7 years either. He
I
hasn't even
don't.
won a playoff game, not one in 7 years since Roethlisberger was an old man.
Like I would just say this: that anybody that comes in, they either have to be at Vrabel's level
Yeah, you're right.
or above.
Yeah, there aren't any.
And, or I'll put it to you this way: good thing you said there aren't any. You know why? Because truth be told, with the exception of Mike Tomlin, anybody else who's out there, there's a reason why they're available, man.
It's the unknown.
Right.
Yeah,
There's a reason why they're available.
yeah.
The only guy, I got two guys. One of them you're probably not gonna like, Todd, to be completely
Bill,
honest.
Bill Belichick.
That'll be the guy that I say that most people won't like. But I'll
I,
settle for
I would take him.
right. I'll settle for a Dable, but like I said,
I don't know
Bill
if he's a head
Belichick.
coach.
You know what would be my ideal? You know what would be my ideal scenario if I had a wish list, right? Which this is bullshit. Might as well throw this out the window once I say it because there's no way it's gonna happen.
Right.
I would love Bill Belichick and Sean McDermott to take over solely the defense.
McDermott won't do that.
No, absolutely not. You're not
No,
gonna
he's
take
not going to take a demotion.
you're not gonna take a demotion
No.
and then on your same team
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
again. Like I said, you might as well
Yeah.
throw it out the window because that never happened.
Yeah,
But
that's not.
that'd be so ideal for me, man. Especially when he's gonna, listen, you're gonna hear within the next 2 days. Such and such has requested to see, or Sean McDermott is on his way to such team for an interview, and
And
you're gonna hear a lot
he's
of that.
getting those calls right now. His agent unless he wants to take time off, which I don't think he does, because he's probably so mad that he wants revenge. Unless he knew this was coming for the last month and he mentally prepared himself. It's possible that he knew this was coming. But you know, if I'm the Titans, I'm on the phone with him right now. What do you want, McDermott? If I'm the Ravens, I'm on the phone. And Pittsburgh may put some feelers out there too. I could see him in Pittsburgh. He is from there. He fits the Pittsburgh mentality.
He
Uh,
fits the Pittsburgh and the Baltimore mentality.
Baltimore, definitely, they've got more talent to win with. So
Absolutely.
Harbaugh's voice might have gotten old with them, and maybe McDermott's a new voice. Pittsburgh, they don't have a quarterback. They're lacking in some talent, but he gets to be part of the draft process. I don't know, so he can. he has a decent defense over there. Man, oh man,
What a mess, man.
kinda
Like I said, I thought we was gonna come on here today and talk about that.
free free agency and stuff.
Yeah, and just that loss on Saturday, in which, like I said, the Buffalo Bills had no business dropping that game. But you can't. You said it, and and I agree with him 100%. You can't turn over the ball 5 times and expect to win a game.
Once they got to 4 turnovers, I texted you. I said, four. This is a death sentence. You can't recover from 4 turnovers. Four turnovers to 1 or 4 turnovers to 0. It's just about field position. It's about everything. You lost 4. You lost 5 scoring opportunities. 5.
You
And
gave
so what's that?
and, no, and most importantly, you gave the Denver Broncos 16 points on turnovers.
And honestly, I've said it, and I almost feel like I freaking cursed myself that Josh Allen was never the reason why we lost a playoff game. He was the reason why we lost the playoff game.
A million
He
percent
was.
agree.
He
And
was.
it's a hard decision to have. It's a hard conversation to have
He
because
was.
we know how we feel about him, but
Yeah.
definitely Josh Allen.
But
Definitely.
but he's allowed to have a game like that in his life. He's not going to be perfect. He's not going to be like he has been, but he doesn't have the receiver or the personnel to bail him out.
Uh,
He didn't have a Diggs or even I don't even know. Diggs, I guess I will throw Diggs out there. A Diggs player to bail him out. He didn't have that at
Again,
all.
Todd, I'm gonna say this: overcompensation, man.
Yes.
You try to do so much more because you're dealing with less.
Yeah.
Like the play that really pissed me off, and when Sean McDermott called it, I'm sure this is not what he had in mind, and it falls on again, Josh Allen. Before the half, you get ball at half. Why would you not take a knee? And damn it, Josh, if that's the play that your coach called, and that's what he believes in you enough to go ahead and say, you know what, let's see what we can get. And
Um,
you can't run out there with that ball like that, Josh. But go ahead, Todd.
I don't have a problem with him being aggressive with 16 seconds left in a playoff game. That I had no problem. I even said it. My son was right here. I said, we got 16 seconds. Let's see if we can get to field goal range. I don't think Josh planned on, I don't think that was a design run for him. I think he saw the opening and got aggressive. And I don't think that that's what they wanted him to do. And if they did, he messed up by not getting down to the ground so they could run up there, spike it, and try for something else. I don't have a problem with the 16 seconds, especially in a playoff game and we were down. But anyway, Josh messed that one up. I don't know. It almost looked like he did it on purpose. The fumble. It was an absurd fumble.
Listen,
It looked like he was trying to lateral it, he did a couple times in the game. Where I'm like, Josh, what are you doing? That was the Houston Texans wild card, Josh. His first
mm-hmm,
playoff game.
mm-hmm.
That's what that reminded me of. Just haywire. But he's so freaking good that he lost us the game, but he kept us in the game at the same time, and he almost won it for us. It's crazy. But he's allowed to have a bad game. He is.
I lie to you not. My first reaction to that, I was very mad at Sean McDermott. And the reason I was mad at Sean McDermott
Yes.
is I felt like, dude, just take a knee.
Yeah.
You're on the road.
Yeah.
You get the ball coming out the half. Um,
Yeah.
but then I had to tell myself, you know what? Maybe I'm mad because again, folks, like I told you, we fans first, folks.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
are fans first. Then I had to tell myself, you know what? Maybe you're mad because the result.
The result.
Because
Yep.
had that shit worked out, you'd be sitting up there saying he's a genius or
Yeah.
way to go or whatever have you. So I had to talk myself off the ledge off that, to be
Yeah.
completely honest with you. And then I got mad at Josh. Once I was
Yeah.
done with
Yeah.
McDermott,
Yeah.
then I got mad. Because what do we do as fans, right? Again, we
Yep.
fans first. What do we do as fans? We need somebody to blame. It got
Yeah.
to listen, we need to find somebody to blame for why we feel the way we feel. I'm upset, so somebody gotta be somebody's to blame for this.
I'll
So
be honest. I'm starting to blame myself for being a goddamn Bills fan.
oh, don't say
I'm starting to blame myself that I blame my parents that I was born
oh
and raised in
man.
Rochester, New York. I'm starting to blame them.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm from the Bronx, born and raised, and I won't have it no other way. Listen, I've been through a lot with this team.
Me too, man.
They've put me through hell. But again, I will never, I can't see myself
No,
with another fan base, man. And
no,
I get
no.
it. It's painful, man. It hurts. Like when does it end? You know, because all right, Todd. Question:
Yeah.
catch or no catch?
Okay. The more I've watched this thing, first of all, I don't think it should have been an interception. And damn the refs for not taking the time to review it. I don't know what they were doing. McDermott is exactly right. They rushed everything. They didn't send it up to New York. They take 5 minutes to look at a fourth down and inches, and a million other plays. And this one was like, no, we're good. We're going to keep it going. The Broncos offense came back out onto the field, ready to go. McDermott had to waste a timeout because he's like, guys, what are you doing? How are
Trying
you
to slow
not
it
looking
down.
at this?
Hmm.
Um, that based on watching football for 40 years, 44 years, and based on the NFL today and all the instant replays that we get thrown at us, and based on the two catches that we saw in the playoff games after that, yeah, that's a catch. It's a catch. He
I
caught it,
agree.
knee down, had control. It didn't pop out. He didn't fumble it going to the ground. He had it, knee was down, and he was touched. Why wouldn't that be have been a catch? I don't know why. I don't know what a catch is. So yeah,
And I and I think that's the problem. I think the problem is that most
subjective.
of listen. I've been watching football for over 40 years myself as well, and I've never been more in a fog than I have been now in understanding what exactly is a catch. And like, how are you supposed to make a football move, right? Like
Yeah,
if
you're
you're
going
if
you're
you're
you're,
on the
you're
ground,
catching it. You're
if
making
you're
a
on the
great catch and you're falling to the ground with it. What do you mean a
right,
football move? I don't
the
know what
the
that
whole
means.
the whole panel on Get Up this morning, the show Get Up,
Yeah.
they all agreed it was a catch, and I don't see how could uh, again it's the inconsistency.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants to say, yo, you guys are complaining, you guys are whatever, listen, say what you want. But like I said, like I told you, if you can give me 3 to 4 examples, even this year, that
Yeah.
are different than that, then
Yeah.
I'm here to listen to it. But
Yeah.
when you show me one thing and rule it one way, and then you show me another thing and rule it another way, come on, I have a problem with that. It's almost like a kid. Like, listen, the rules are the rules. You don't bend them for here or there. If you do, then expect the kid not to have a full understanding of what are the rules, and expect him to be upset when you don't give him what he wants.
The two PIs at the end of the game. The Tre'Davious White one was probably PI. The Taron Johnson one was bullshit. And they kept their flags in their pocket the entire game. They let the guys play, and then they throw the flags out in that case. The game was probably over at that point. Okay, I mean we were struggling, and they were still in field goal range. The Broncos, but the Cooks non-call in the end zone right before half should have been a PI then. And we
Yep.
should have had the ball on the 1 yard line,
Yep.
and we would have won the game. Um, but the Josh fumble cost us 3 points, which we would have won the game if that didn't happen. So it's like it was even Steven, I guess. But um, we can't blame it all on the refs. They played a part. Five
Man.
turnovers. 5 turnovers is you're not winning any game if you have 5 turnovers. The odds are against you, and that's just the way it played out. So
Yep. If we're being completely honest, the Buffalo
yeah,
Bills
yeah,
beat
they didn't deserve to
themselves,
win.
and right. And we've said it over and over. You can't expect to win a game turning over the ball 5 times. So
No
if we're
way.
gonna put this solely on the refs, we'll be wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
But I would say this: the Bills put themselves in a situation where they could have won the game,
Yes.
and the refs blew it.
That's why it hurts.
The mistake that the Buffalo Bills made, though, they shouldn't have put themselves in that situation.
Right. Right.
Again, turn over the ball 5 times, expecting a W. You asked them for a lot. You asked them to overcome a lot. Like I said, the the Denver Broncos scored 16 points on those turnovers,
Sucks.
and that's the ball game right there.
And then and
Buffalo.
then we're stuck with first of all, I hate the Broncos. I don't like anything about that franchise. I never did.
Mhm.
We definitely hate the Patriots. The Texans were a blah team with a good defense. We're stuck with that representation. We're stuck with either the Patriots again or a backup Broncos team in the Super Bowl. It's like, come on, that's not the way it should be. And it's not the way it should be. We outplayed the Broncos even with the 5 turnovers, and we did have a chance to win it 1 to 2 times, and they let us off the hook, and we didn't get the victory that we wanted. But the fact that the Patriots are there again, I just hope the Broncos beat them, and then I'm going to root for an NFC team. I think it's going to be the Rams, but who knows? Seattle could win the whole thing
Mm.
too. It's just like the Super Bowl. There's not even. I'm not even like, oh yeah, this team's in it. This is cool. Super Bowl's going to suck this year, other than the Bad Bunny halftime.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was actually gonna bring that up, right? Except for the Bad Bunny halftime, right? But you hit the nail on the head earlier, man. This is the one game that we can honestly say, and we can look back, playoff wise, that Josh Allen cost us this game.
Yeah, he
But
did.
you also said, and Bills, our Bills family have to understand and have to know that you're right. Josh Allen is entitled to have a bad game.
He's entitled.
And I'm gonna bring it back in full circle moment and say a lot of it has to do with trying to overcompensate for something you don't have. And
That's right.
that once again will fall on Brandon Bean. But
Yeah, that's right.
obviously the organization did not see it that way, and they chose to fire Sean McDermott, and now we left with the mess that we in. But as
Here's the
far
other
as
issue. The other issue is because Bean has been running this personnel for however long it's been now, 7, 8 years. We have no cap space. We've signed guys that we probably had no right, maybe re-signing or extending. Not a lot, a couple. We've got a list of guys that probably won't be on the team next year, which will free up cap money. You know, I don't think Tre'Davious White's going to come back. I think Milano they may try to have come back, but on the cheap, and I think he's going to make money. But here's what I'm afraid of, and I think I might have texted you this or sent this to you on Instagram after you posed the question or you sent the list out of all the free agents. I could see Milano on the Patriots because they may pay him more because they got a ton of cap space, and I
Mhm.
wouldn't want that. But Milano, I would bring back based on uh, his health in the playoffs, and he still could play. But he's an injury risk, so we're not going to put a lot of money towards him. Someone's going to, I think, overpay for him, and he's going to be gone. Shaq Thompson's an old man. He played with a torn hamstring and a neck issue, and he's 33. We are in dire need of defensive and offensive personnel. We are in trouble.
Now, listen. I'm not going to argue that.
We're in trouble on D.
I'm not going to argue that at all. Shaq Thompson said he'll come back, but he wants to be a starter. That was the one thing that
That's fine. That's fine.
right. Because he said he thinks that he said to resign with the Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
is his top priority. But he said another thing that's second on that list and very close would be he wants to be a starter. He thinks he can be a starter in this league, and I
Yeah.
respect that.
He is.
Um,
He's a starter.
and you touched on something that's very very important, and I hate to say it, but for those of us Bills fans who don't like seeing the Patriots where they at, to be quite honest with you, unless something happens with Drake May,
They're not going anywhere.
they're not going nowhere anytime.
And and
And
they
they got a
have,
lot of money.
yeah, a boatload. Yep. A
They so
boatload.
so so they're not going nowhere and expect them to to make some signings in this offseason that's gonna piss you off.
Well, here's one that's going to piss me off because they got the money to sign him, George Pickens. They got the money to sign Ayuk. They got the money to beef up that offense. Their defense is solid. And Vrabel's a defensive guy, so he'll, you know, they're going to draft late, but they've got the money for free agents and they'll fine tune the defense. But offensively, they have the money to go get superstars. Period.
Yep. Yeah,
Ayuk's
they're
a
not
little.
going.
Ayuk and Pickens are both crazy, and I don't know if I would want either one on the Bills because that could go really wrong really fast. Pickens a head case, and Ayuk it sounds like is a little bit of a head case. Those are the top wide receiver free agents that I would can think of. As far as who could the Bills get. But anyway, I could see the Patriots throwing boatloads of money at like a Pickens, somebody like that. I don't know if we have the money to do all that. I don't know if I want him,
Here-
but he's
Here's
awesome.
another. here's another problem. You bring up an Ayuk and you bring up a Pickens, guys that could be head cases, right?
Yeah.
And
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, even if the Buffalo Bills got them, right? With the departure, or rather the firing of Sean McDermott,
Right.
who's to say what that locker room is gonna look like? It's almost like
Right.
every family, right? I'm sure I speak for every family that for a large part of everyone's family, like your grandmother's like the centerpiece of a lot of things.
Yep. Absolutely.
And she keeps a lot of the stuff together. Nobody really shows out. Everybody's at their best behavior.
Yep.
But God bless her. When she passes away, now your uncles drink a little bit more. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Your nephew wants to show his ass. You got
Yep.
people getting there late,
Yep.
or just grabbing a plate and leaving.
Yep.
So once that foundation leaves,
Yeah.
it you know, oh
Yeah.
man,
Things
listen,
change.
I don't think they really thought this through. And I think I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say this, and it may come back to bite me in the butt. And it's one of them things I hope I'm wrong in. Like I said, I don't
Mm.
mind being wrong because
Sure.
I really do not mind being wrong. But I think Brandon Bean is a slime ball, man.
He might be.
I think he's a slime ball because there's no way.
I don't know how they made him president of football operations. That means he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He's running this whole thing.
So wait a minute. Listen, again, like I said, we fans first, folks. So we
Yeah.
don't know everything, right? We learn some of this stuff as you learn some of this stuff. So being that he's president, right? That means he could have decided to keep Sean McDermott.
Um.
Is,
I,
is that does that work that way?
uh. Well, I think he got promoted after. I think McDermott got fired, and then Bean got promoted. I think that's what happened. I do. I think I think Bean's the reason why McDermott got fired. I don't think Pagula wanted to fire McDermott. That's my guess. I think Bean and McDermott. Sal Capaccio had some good inside info. He was on the radio this morning when the news broke, and he had some good inside info where when he was at the owners' meeting, he could sense, and he's right there. He's actually on the sideline during the games. Sal Capaccio. I don't know. You know Sal. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Listen to him
awesome.
every morning, 10
Yeah,
a.m.
he's awesome. He was talking about how at the owners' meeting he could sense the tension between McDermott and Bean, and even comments that McDermott has made over the year, this football year, about other players that we could have gotten. He really praised Jacoby Myers. What a great addition they made in the during the trade deadline. And then he made another comment about another player, and it was like almost him saying, "You didn't get this guy for us, and now they have him. Kudos to them." Um, Bean uh, going on the radio at the beginning of the year, giving those radio guys hell for complaining about, we score almost 30 points a game, but you're complaining about the wide receiver room, which they were absolutely right. Um, McDermott and him, I don't think we're getting along. I just think and I think Bean who reports directly to Pagula and has Pagula's ear more than McDermott does, said, "Hey, listen, we got a problem." And
I can
Pagula might be a guy that you can easily persuade. I mean, not every boss is a great one. Not every owner is Jerry Jones, who's it's my way or the highway. So
I think you raised a good point, and I could definitely see that being being a reason.
yeah,
Actually, Sal Capaccio he was on the podcast with Bove as the news broke, and Bove
yes,
told him
yeah,
Sean McDermott just got fired. He's
yeah.
like, what? He's
They
like,
were
yeah, Sean.
shocked.
So he left out of there. He said, guys, listen, I gotta go. I gotta leave the podcast alone. I gotta
Yep,
go jump on WGR,
yep.
and that's how it played out. And I
I'm
just
not
think,
a I'm not a Twitter guy, an X guy, so I don't follow it. But I know a lot of the players are furious, and I haven't seen one local Bills podcaster or reporter or whatever saying this might be a good thing. The instant reaction was complete shock and awe, and just like, how does this happen? Because they all thought like we did that Bean would have been the guy that would have gone first.
listen, that's the guy who was giving. That's the guy that went and bought the groceries.
Yes.
So
Yes.
don't blame the cook.
Yeah.
The
I
the
know.
cook could only get it to taste as good as the food you bring them. Listen, if you bring them cheap ass sauce, then expect the food not to taste the same.
So let's talk about coaching possibilities. We've talked about it a little bit. Like
What you got?
if Harbaugh was still around, I don't know if he would have made that. Again, it comes down to personnel. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter what coach you bring in. It's about the players, especially on defense. We need a wide receiver one, and we need a ton of defensive help. Definitely in the first two levels, D line, linebacker, because we are old at linebacker and we're broken at linebacker. We're gonna have to replace linebackers, and we definitely have to get a better D line.
But
Secondary, we could say we're good with young guys, Benford, Bishop, Hairston, because Hairston's going to start next year unless he gets hurt again. So we've got two corners, we've got a safety. We're going to have to either find a safety in free agency, draft one, or Hancock is going to be elevated to be the guy. So I'm not necessarily worried about the secondary. I'm worried about the front line and the linebackers. Anyway, somebody like Tomlin comes in. Would you be okay with Tomlin?
Todd, to be honest with you, I mean, I'll have no choice. I mean,
Okay.
like I said, there's three guys that I guess I'll be okay with. That'll be Tomlin, that'll be Dable, and that'll be Bill Belichick. But like I said, I'm just being okay with it. To be
I
completely
know.
honest with you, because
Yeah.
who can like you, Todd? We could have ended this 40 minutes ago because you dropped the mic when you said who out there is better.
Nope.
Because let's be
Nobody.
honest, had we had another, had the Buffalo Bills been under the same circumstance, right? And would not without Sean McDermott, we had somebody else. And let's say for example, the Buffalo Bills had Rex Ryan, right? And Rex
Yeah.
Ryan has achieved everything that Sean McDermott has. And
Right.
the Buffalo Bills this morning announced that they fired Rex Ryan. And there's a head coach out there by the name of Sean McDermott, and he's put together the resume that he's put together in Buffalo. All Bills fans will be yelling, "Go get Sean McDermott."
Yeah.
So who do we like? There's
I
no
don't
one
know.
out there that you can sit up there and say that's the guy that's gonna do it for us. Now, again, it comes back to Brandon Bean. Get us personnel, and we can say that's the guy that can get that can get it done for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, we don't have the personnel to be. We don't. We did so much with so little on both sides of the ball. Josh was the reason, and McDermott was the reason why we've been so successful. Those two guys. Period. Yes, we didn't get over the hump in these playoff games. And you could say maybe his mentality in these big playoff games was playing a little too tight. Maybe he couldn't deliver the halftime speech to get us fired up. But you know what? We were always down in these games and we always did come back in these regular season games and playoffs. We were in every game. So whatever he did say did work. So this firing is so baffling. The more I talk, the more frustrated I get. The only
Uh,
thing that's going to save us is if we can get to a Super Bowl next year. Not saying we have to win it, because winning it is gravy. Get us to a Super Bowl. Whatever coach we get us to the Super Bowl. Because you're going to freaking have to. And we're opening up a new stadium.
like I said,
I
new
would have thought I
stadium.
would have thought McDermott would open the new stadium.
And,
He was a
and,
he
and
was. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, we're good. It just was rambling. Go ahead.
No, but you're right. You're right, Todd. You're freaking right. New season, new stadium, new coach. And Sean McDermott, just like the Buffalo Bills and just like the city of Buffalo,
Deserve to
he
be in that new stadium.
and he deserves to be a part of this Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
ring if it ever happens.
Yeah, I know. I know.
He deserves to be a part of this conversation
I
and a
know.
part of this.
I know.
He is like, it's in a way, and I'm gonna show my age, but I know you know what I'm talking about. He is like what Don Mattingly is to the Yankees. Like
Right.
he
Right.
deserved the ring, man. With like,
Yep.
there's no
Yep.
way. Like,
Yeah.
major mistake by the Buffalo Bills.
I really believe so, and they got to prove me. They got to prove us wrong. And the only way to prove us wrong is to get to the Super Bowl and win one. That's the only way they're going to prove us wrong. Otherwise, it's going to be the same old shit. And we're going to go, "We told you so." What's the difference? Oh, we got the coach X, Y, and Z. What's the difference? We're still lost in the divisional round. We still missed a field goal in the AFC Championship game. We still gave up the last touchdown to so and so team because our defense wasn't good enough. That's the only way we're going to do it is if we get and it's got to happen quick. It can't be 3-4 years from now. We got to make the Super Bowl next year or the year after. And I won't be surprised if we take a downturn next year in the new stadium and need a total reset because we're 8-9 because it's just not working. I don't know, man. I don't know what coach they're going to get. And the way this is going, they might as well make Brady and Babich the new head coach and defensive coordinator. That might happen. It's the easy way out. It gives Bean a little time. It's familiarity, and there's less accountability when you just elevate guys up, like he was just elevated up. This is so
Nah,
crazy that why not just do that then?
what you're saying makes a million percent sense
Just
in
do
in,
it.
in that sense.
Yeah.
But as far as running a team and that like, oh my God, that'll be hard.
Dable would is to me. Dable's not a head coach. I don't know if he can run that whole organization. He that Giants thing was a disaster. Yeah, they didn't have the personnel either, but they had enough personnel. I feel like where they could have won more than they did. You know what I mean? I feel like he's an offensive mind. I would love to have seen him come in as the OC if Brady would have been let go under McDermott. But I feel like McDermott and Dable maybe didn't get along towards the end either. Two different personalities.
Right. Mhm.
Dable and Josh were very close, and he's the reason why Josh became Josh. That's a
And
fact.
that's the only reason why Dable
That's
will
a
make me
fact.
feel a little comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why Dable will make me feel comfortable, only because change won't be too big for him.
So
That's
so
crazy.
if we want to throw an old school example out of in this situation, John Elway. I don't know if you saw his Netflix documentary. It was actually really good. I recommend it. He talked about when he was with Dan Reeves, they couldn't stand each other. They had gone to 3 Super Bowls. They lost. They got their ass beat. And he and Dan Reeves had different philosophies, and they were butting heads. Dan Reeves was fired. They thought John Elway was the reason why he got fired. John Elway says, no, I wasn't. Anyway, his offensive coordinator that got John Elway to be John Elway was Mike Shanahan. And sure
Mhm.
enough, the franchise brought in Mike Shanahan, and they went and won those Super Bowls, those 2 Super Bowls, and were very successful. This could be maybe like that scenario where Josh says, "Go get me Brian. That's my head coach." That's the only way maybe that they get high that they hire him, and then maybe Dable can turn water into wine. You know what I mean? Maybe they start drafting the right guys on defense. That Denver team was nasty. They had a lot of good free agents
Yeah.
that they brought in. And they had a good core, and they had, Terrell Davis helped Elway a lot. Anyway, that was a long time ago, almost 30 years ago. But that could be like that scenario where Dable comes in because Josh says, this is who I want. And maybe Pagula will ask him that. And maybe Bean will ask him that. You
I
probably
mean,
shouldn't ask your players too much, but he might.
like I said, that's the only thing. I mean, it won't make me happy because again, like I said, I not that I just don't see what with what they did today how that fixes anything.
No.
And I don't know how whatever it is that you did today or whatever it is that you thought you was doing today. I don't see how it's moving our organization forward in any way. And again, please let me be wrong. I would love
I
to be
know.
wrong. I'm not one of those who's big on I was right. I told you. Listen, I don't mind being wrong. I don't care to be wrong, and especially if it's the benefit of others. And
Yeah.
again, if the Buffalo Bills can go ahead and win a chip and do whatever, and this was the move that did it, I'll come back on here exactly. What is it? 13 months from today and say, listen, I was wrong and they did good. But that
Yeah.
move will be the only thing that, like I said, I know Brian Dable, he didn't do too good with the Giants, but like I said, it's just a familiar face, familiar voice to Josh, and that's that, man. Because
Let's let's
nobody else.
talk. So I'm thinking about like the defense, and yeah, we need linebackers and stuff, and I think we're gonna have to, maybe draft one. I don't know, but I'll take this back. There's a couple bright spots on defense, at least on the front. I like Deion Walker a lot. I
Yeah.
think he's going to develop into a stud. I do like Sanders. He was hurt, but I like him. Two big guys in the middle. I feel like Ed Oliver is just an injury risk at this point. I don't know how many years left he has on his contract, but when he's healthy, he's definitely going to help. But is he going to stay healthy? So there's some bright sides there. We have no defensive ends. We have zero. And Epinesa is going to be gone. Someone's going to pay him money. These guys are going to leave. Milano's going to get overpaid. We don't have the money to pay these guys either. Milano's going to get overpaid to go somewhere. AJ's going to get overpaid to go somewhere. I don't know if Bosa comes back. I don't know if he's going to come back. That frees up $12.5 million. He was only a 1 year deal.
Mhm.
Rousseau we're tied to unless we trade him. And as far as receivers, we're going to have to draft one or make a big splash trade. And maybe we will. AJ
Yeah.
Brown, Jefferson, Justin Jefferson might be miserable out in Minnesota.
I don't
But
know. The only good news story I would say out of this is that some way somehow I know they way high up there, right? But I know Brandon Bean hears the shit. I'm sure the Pagulas hear it,
yeah,
and hopefully they have to prove a point, and
yeah,
they say, listen, let's go all in and let's go gun ho and X Y Z. Because like you said, there's many of those players, and like I touched on earlier today, a lot of those players are complementary pieces, right?
hmm
And they all free agents.
yeah,
And the Buffalo Bills are not going to sign a lot of those players because just like you mentioned, just like Mac Hollins,
yeah,
some team is going to overpay them.
yeah. They're
And
going to.
they're going to go. It's going to be enticing. And listen,
Yeah,
especially some guys that say a guy like Matt Milano. I mean, well, you never know Matt Milano. He may be loyal to the cause. You never know. But money
maybe,
talks, right?
maybe.
So they may just again, they leaving, man. A lot of them guys are leaving again
Yeah,
because we ain't got the money to pay them. And especially if we want to acquire someone who's a difference maker, like
yeah,
you can't get, let's say for example, like I'm gonna throw out the name because you threw it out, right? Justin Jefferson. You can't get a Justin Jefferson and still hold on to these little 6 million here, eight
yeah.
million there,
Right.
for just role players, so to speak. So
Yeah,
this team is gonna look a lot different, and
a lot
especially starting
different.
with head coaching.
And then you're gonna have players like Poyer and Trey White who don't want to play for anybody else, and they're old anyway. Poyer's done. This is it. Like he's gonna retire. He's done. And Trey White, yeah, he played well. Maybe he'll try to stick around because he loves Buffalo, but he's an old man. We got as much as we could out of both of those guys. So those guys are either going to be just backup veterans or they're going to say, "I'll see you later. I'm going to call it a day." Um,
But Todd, I'll tell you something else too. Like the same way us fans feel, maybe some players feel as well. Like this firing of Sean McDermott may make somebody like Deion Dawkins, Trey White, Poyer look at this Buffalo Bills organization different and say, "Yo, listen, like, how'd you get rid of this guy? Like, this guy took you out of drought. This guy has been loyal. This guy not
yeah,
only as a coach, but personally amongst us and amongst the Bills community,
yeah,
Buffalo community, he's been a center point, man. Like,
yeah,
and you got rid of him, like, and they
yeah.
may they may be looking at Buffalo, the Pagulas and Brandon Bean different now themselves.
It's possible. And again, we don't have a ton of cap money to bring in big names anyway. It's going to have to be a lot of work behind the scenes or a trade. We don't have cap space. The cap always increases every year because of the money that the NFL makes. So that will help. And we might have an extra $20 million because of it. Um, we'll get cap space. It always finds a way to open up, but we don't have a ton of it. And then if you look at the list of free agents, there's some big names, but then there's some guys that, aren't that sexy. So we'll see how that plays out. The draft is going to be important. We got a ton of guys hurt that we drafted last year that we could say maybe they'll be better. Landon Jackson, Hancock, maybe he'll develop into something. We saw Deion Walker and how he can be a good player. I think he's going to be special actually, because he's very agile, as big as he is. But the big thing will be um, the wide receiver room. That could be completely gutted, like Curtis Samuel gone. Palmer they may bring back because they have to. Keon is trade bait or a cut. You know, I think you bring back Brandon Cooks just for that veteran presence, but do we want him to be our wide receiver one? No, he's 33 years old.
Yep.
So we'll see, man. It's
And,
gonna
and,
be it's gonna be interesting.
and that's another thing. Like Brandon Bean gambled with Keon Coleman, and he was wrong.
He was wrong, dead wrong. That guy's not going to be any better unless somebody comes in and as an OC has a offensive mindset that can work wonders with him. I don't see it. You listen, these wide receivers that are amazing. If you think about the top 5 wide receivers in the league, they were out of the gate amazing as rookies. You can
Yeah.
see it. Jefferson, Chase, uh, Puka, Cooper Kupp, all these
Yep.
guys that just were awesome. They were awesome right away.
Yep.
You
You
know
seen that? You seen that touchdown he dropped, man? Look, thank God there was a flag on the play.
which one? Who?
Keon.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, exactly. There's your point. There's my point. There's my point. Like even Andre Reed, his rookie year, you could see it. I remember his rookie year, 1985. They were 2-14. I remember watching him going, "Oh man, this guy's like." I just remember as a kid, I was only 13 years old, going, "Oh, this guy looks awesome." And sure enough, he was. Same thing with Thurman Thomas. I remember watching him his rookie year. He only had 800 yards, but you could see it. You
Yeah.
know, and you can see it right away. It doesn't take that long, especially in today's NFL with a wide receiver. It doesn't take that long. These
Yeah.
guys come out of the gate now and they're amazing. So we don't have that.
You, you don't get
So
no splash out of this dude. This dude right here
no,
is just
no.
I don't know, man. Todd, anything else on your table, man? Because like you said earlier, the more we talk about it, the more upset I seem to get,
No.
and the more I start to, if I'll be completely honest, the more I start to worry as a Buffalo Bill fan because
I worry
yeah,
short term. I worry short term. Um,
mhm.
yeah. This is the biggest draft since Josh coming up. It just is. It's the biggest one because it's under a new regime. It's
Yep,
huge.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Who would the Buffalo Bills bring in? We don't know. I guess we'll find out sooner than later. I guess. Listen, you don't make a move like this without having some kind of idea in which direction you're going in.
True.
So I'm guessing
True.
again within the next. But I would go as far as saying by the time we see football again, I think the Buffalo Bills. It'll be a dog and pony show. They'll probably bring in some people
Yeah.
just for show, but I think they have in mind on who they want. And again, like I said, I mean, we know how all this shit works. Please, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've spoken to whoever they have in mind and they have some type of idea. Because again, like I said, I know there's rules in place and so forth, but listen, we know how this shit goes, man.
I mean, there's okay. Real quick, and then we can go because we've been talking a long time. There's Tomlin. You could elevate Brady. You could hire Tomlin. I think Belichick's not going anywhere, but you could try to get him to come in. But he's an old man. He's 74 years old, and he's got a crazy girlfriend that I don't necessarily want around the Buffalo Bills. So I don't
Right.
think Belichick's happening. So let's say Tomlin, Brady. You've got Cliff Kingsbury, who's an offensive mind, but is
Mhm.
he going to get you to a Super Bowl? I don't know. The old Cardinals coach. He's an
Yeah.
offensive mind, and you got Dable. That's all. That's all. The only guys I can think of.
My pick. Hey, listen, I'm gonna say.
Maybe it's got to be Dable. Maybe that's the guy.
I say Dave. That'll be my pick. I guess Mike Tomlin's pretty good or whatever have you. But again, I just want Josh Allen. It's the best of a worst scenario. It's a familiar face. It's someone who's familiar with Buffalo. He's from Buffalo. It's someone in which I think a lot of the players have a rapport with. They'll
True.
embrace him.
That's true.
I think the transition will be easier if we get a Dable. Now,
Might be it.
I'm gonna tell you something. That's the only thing I'm in favor of. The only other thing I will even entertain would probably be like a Belichick. But again, like you said, you raised a good point. He got too much going on, and I don't think he's willing to do it, and especially
Yeah.
given his age.
Yeah.
Two things I don't want, and I'll end with this as far as I go. And then
Yeah.
whatever you got on your plate, man, just lay it out there, right? Um, I don't want the elevation of Joe Brady,
No, I don't either.
and they better not. If they bring in a fucking wacko like
Like
Mike
McDaniel.
McDaniels,
Yeah.
bro,
They won't.
listen.
They won't.
I don't know, man, but
You might as well, and then it would be Dable because Dable's a more steady mind. He's not as much of a goofball. You know?
Now, let me ask you a question. Last thing on my side. This is really the last thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Would you be up to a Mike McDaniels on offense?
Possibly as the OC because he doesn't have as much say. So it would be Daboll and then Mike McDaniel, but I don't know if their philosophies are the same. So you got to have Daboll. If Dable's the head coach, he's got to hire his people. He doesn't really have any people because he was a disaster in New York. He doesn't have any people. Who's this
Yep.
defensive guy? He butted heads with every defensive coordinator that he brought in. Wink Martindale, Wink Martindale, and the other guy that they brought in that they fired mid-season. He he didn't work with them, so he doesn't really have people. So we'll see.
No, we'll see, man. We'll see. Todd, that's all I got on my plate, man. I ain't got nothing else. Like I said, the more I talk about it, the more it bothers me. You got anything else to say, man? If not,
Whoop, sorry.
no, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I was like, hey, damn, Todd,
Yeah,
you didn't say bye. Shit. And you more upset than me.
no, we're good.
I said, shit. You want to talk about way to leave? I said, damn. But Todd, that's all I got, man. Anything else
Same
you
here.
got? If not, get us
No,
out of
man.
here, my brother.
That's all good. We'll talk. We can touch base next week.
Absolutely on the podcast, but you and
Yep.
I definitely touch base throughout the days.
Yep.
And that's that. Even after this, we hear anything or any ideas, you and I always shoot them to each other, and that's that. But
Yep.
get us out of here, Todd.
All right,
Dang.
man. Listen, this franchise is at a crossroads. It's a whole new franchise, in my opinion. It's going to look brand new. Whether the nice new car runs well or not remains to be seen. And let's keep our fingers crossed. We do still have Josh Allen. He didn't go anywhere, and we still have an O line, and we still have James Cook. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope the Pagulas make the right decision and Brandon Bean, and that's all we can do. That's all we got.
That's right. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't even gonna touch that, Todd, because that was way to close. And I ain't even gonna touch it, man. So on that note, Bills Mafia, Bills family, you know what it is always. Let's go, Buffalo. Go Bills.
It is, man. You guys are as tough as nails. Team above everything else, huh? Have a good time. Love y'all. Wait, on three, 1, 2, 3.